have custard creams, hobnobs, or shortbread.
I love custard creams. It's not one in ages.
Of course, yeah.
Oh, they seem like a popular choice as well.
No, they are not. They are the least popular choice, actually. Hobnobs have had a lot of loving. Jaffa cakes, we haven't even got any Jaffa cakes left.
Yeah. You never even offered me Jaffa cakes, I would have went for a Jaffa cake.
You put yeah, but they've all gone. It's quite sad. Davey Connor, thank you for coming to the picnic with biscuits.
Yep.
How is this Fringe going for you? Is this your This is your first hour, although you've done stuff here before.
I've done a few package shows the last few years. That's the first time I've done it.
When were you with the Comedy Zone? That was
2010.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So
big year. With Ivo Graham, who's doing his first hour this year as well, and Josh Widdicombe, who's not really done much since it. I'll be honest, I've never heard of him. I don't even know what's happening. And Nazos Manolo. Which is a difficult name to say, but yeah, it was a really good year. That was good fun. That was the first time I'd even been in Edinburgh. Doing the Fringe, so.
And it's a great. I'm guessing it's a good experience just because they really get behind the Comedy Zone and they promote it, and you've got a nice audience.
Yeah, you meet a lot of good people from it. And every night there's an audience, whereas some shows you do, there's not a guaranteed. There's practically a guaranteed audience every night with this one. So yeah, it's a good first taste of Edinburgh. Yep.
Okay, and so how's it all going? How are you feeling?
It's going really good. I actually came up to Edinburgh having not run my show once, so that was dangerous.
Wow.
I've been writing it for the first 2 previews I used as previews.
So have you tried out bits of material before?
I hadn't ran it as a full hour, and I hadn't done the ending until the first night. But the first 2 nights were previews, so I thought I could use them as previews. But that's in shape now as a show now, so it's good. Yeah.
And you're happy with?
Yeah, I'm happy. I think once you run something a few times, there's always changes, and I'm quite pernickety at certain bits. Like I'll keep certain bits, but if I'm not happy with a certain bit, I've rewritten middle bits of my show and stuff like that. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do, but just wing it basically.
But do you kind of see it as something that inevitably in a bit of time is going to be different again?
Yeah,
it's
already different from the first 2 nights. I think just because the way you deliver lines and stuff like that changes, and the pace of it changes, and content has changed since the first show. The majority of it's the same though. All the good bits are still in it. What I've done is I've got rid of the duffers and replaced them with better bits.
So do you people who are doing their first hour kind of consider it best of is the wrong word, but amalgamation of good things? Have you treated it that way, or
not at all? See, someone should have told me when I was writing it. That's what you're supposed to do. I've got two jokes that I've probably used before this Fringe. Two my kind of bankers that I always used, and the rest is all pretty much new. Yeah, so it's been written right up to the show. So
what's the name of the show?
It's called The Live But Not in Your Living Room.
Live But Not.
And it's basically about going back to tell my parents some information that I was really uncomfortable telling them, and then through the story you find out what that is, and then there's supposed to be it's a really crap twist at the end. I'll be honest, but it's quite funny. It's quite a kind of uplifting end sort of thing. But yeah, I started off just trying to write stand-up for the show. I was just not going to make it a theme, but I think the more you write it, the more you think I actually need a story to kind of keep it going. Because an hour's a long time just to hear joke. So there's a narrative running through it, and then it just goes off in tangents and goes back to the narrative.
Something to stick it together, a kind of central thing. And how long have you known what that kind of central?
About 5 days. No, I kind of knew when, like a couple of weeks before the Fringe what it was kind of going to be about. But the ending is completely different to what it was when I first came up. The first night is a different ending to what it is now. So yeah, I've had a rough idea what the show was going to be about, but again, it's literally just not being pieced together. But I've not had time to actually write it until now. So yeah, but I'm happy with it now.
Is there a certain thrill in kind of flying by the seat of your pants in a way, like kind of it's happening and it's a bit last minute and
yeah, well, it's the kind of instamatic thing of that if you've written something and you thought funny and that night you try it out and it's actually better than other stuff in your show, you're like, wow, I'm just going to keep this in, this is really good. The whole show's not like that, but it's not all tried. It's literally not anymore. It was the first few nights, but now it's actually pretty much the same show.
Do you feel that it's important, because you're kind of rare as a Scottish comedian performing at the Fringe?
What
in
you
a
all
way.
doing in my country? What's that all about? No, I see. I thought that, but see, having known, I know like there's lots of Scottish comics. There's maybe not lots playing like in our bigger venues as such, but this year I know the Free Fringe. There's loads of like they've got a show down in the Beehive. It's like Scottish Comedy Festival, and it's the Free Fringe shows for loads of Scottish acts. This year there's a few kind of bigger Scottish acts that aren't doing it, like Mark Nelson. I don't know if you know Mark Nelson. He's not doing it this year, or Des Clark. He's not doing it. But yeah, there's not many Scottish faces considering it is in Scotland. But yeah, I don't think it's weird though, because it just Edinburgh doesn't seem like Scotland to me anyway. I'll be honest. Every time I come to Edinburgh, it doesn't feel like Scotland. So yeah.
Particularly the festival feels kind of almost. I mean, it's called the Edinburgh Festival, and everyone knows it for that. But location is almost irrelevant in a way.
Yeah, there's just a castle there. Oh, this must be Scotland. It's just a good mix. I think. Yeah, like I'm trying to think of Scottish comics that. Yeah, I don't really feel like this year. There's one of my mates is doing the Comedy Zone as well, a Scottish guy. The year before that, there was another Scottish guy, Ian Stirling. So we're infiltrating slowly but surely to get the Stone of Destiny back. That's eventually the plan. Yeah. Would
you like to see more Scottish comedians here, or is that not a concern?
Well, it's weird. When you see it, there is loads of Scottish comics. I think it'd be good to see more higher profile ones, but obviously Kevin Bridges has got that sewn up because he's massive, and he doesn't need to come and do the Edinburgh Festival as such because he's so big.
Is it Kevin Bridges hogging that?
No, I don't think there's anyone directly chasing behind him. I'm just saying like he's so big that he doesn't need to come and do like the Edinburgh Festival. Whereas acts like myself need to come and do it so people find out about you, sort of thing. Yeah.
And you see it as kind of an important first step on this journey that you're going to be taking, and can you kind of see that see the path it's going to take?
Well, I think that's what people say, but I don't know how true it is, to be honest. I think it's just an inevitable start, isn't it? You need to do the Fringe so people know you're a comic, and then get TV people or get bookers to see you and stuff so you can get gigs throughout the year. Yeah.
Is it a means to an end for you, or is it worth doing in its own right?
Well, you're probably better asking me that at the end of the run because I think I've always wanted to do the full run, do my hour, and I think I'll definitely keep coming back and doing an hour. This is my first time doing an hour every night. I've done like hours of comedy and stuff like that, an hour every night. I can see like already thinking about next year's show, what I would do differently already. But I think it's a kind of long haul type thing. I know I'm going to be here every year, and I think the more you come, the more people remember your face, and hopefully I'll get people enjoy the show this year, they'll come next year. So building up that kind of fan base. So it's which in my head sounds bizarre to say you've got fans. Someone's your fans, mental.
Or people that like you at least.
Yeah. Tolerate you, baby. No, it's weird. It's quite a strange concept to have a fan.
But I think it's something. It's an important first step, I think, particularly for comics, to feel that they've done the run, and that's a very important benchmark to say that you've done that you've kind of passed your driving test or something.
In your stripes. Because to do it every night it does. Although we were saying beforehand, it's not as if it's an intensive job as such. I mean, it's not. If you compare it to the greater scheme of the world, you're genuinely just standing on stage chatting and entertaining. But it can be quite to perform every night. I suppose it's quite a difficult thing.
And I think there have been comics who have outwardly said, it's really not for me doing the same show every night. It's almost, if you step outside of it, we're very used to the idea, but it's almost a bit of an absurd idea. In the same room, the same
it's the exact
place.
Same thing,
and it's a slog. It's it's not just a week.
I think as well, but not so much anymore. But I think punters used to come to gigs thinking everything the comic said was just off the top of their head, and it's just a bizarre thought to think you could just churn out an hour of gold just at the top of your head as if it was a conversation. Because I suppose that's what kind of buy into this thing that as a show it's all been written and this is them performing the joke. So I suppose it could get a bit tiresome after. So that's why I change it up a bit, like, not majorly, but I maybe change the kind of situation where I'm in, or I'll change the name of something in the show just so it changes it a bit, just to keep me on my feet.
Keeps it fresh.
Yeah.
So it's Davey Connor live, but not in your living room.
Yep.
And it's at the Gilded Balloon.
Yep.
At what time?
10:15.
10:15.
10.
And what room are you in?
It's in the turret, just right next to the loft bar, and I never even knew it was there until this year. And obviously, the amount of times I've been in the loft bar and not know my room's there, but yeah, it's there. It's nice, a wee 50-seater room, and it's cosy, nice and warm.
Okay.
If you're cold, come along, heat up. They have been saying we're going to get air conditioning in it, but I think that's just a tall tale.
They always say that in every venue.
Yeah,
they'll say they'll get.
We're going to get. There's going to be a big fan next week.
One day.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Cheers.